guys don't know this is 1 million cups, or are here for the first time and don't exactly know what 1 million cups is, a couple here, one hand. All right. Well, for your benefit, 1 million cups is our weekly entrepreneurial event where two startups from the community come up here. They present for 6 minutes each. And just to kind of tell you what they're building, what kinds of great things are going on here. Then there's 20 minutes of interaction with the audience. These folks and yourself will be asking questions, making suggestions, thinking through the people you know, what kind of connections you can make to help these startups grow here in the community. Of course, as always, we are powered by Kawa Coffee, delicious Kawa Coffee. On non-Wednesday mornings, please purchase their products. My name is Sean Kidbo. I'm an organizer here at 1 Million Cups, along with Chris Bennett, Marianne Bowers, JJ Roberts, and Danielle Whitelaw, who are not here this morning, and our ex officio, Carly Ellison, who actually does all the work, puts together the wonderful e-blast you guys get every week, telling you who is coming up to present, who did present, how you can help them, all about the events we talk about here, contact information for everyone, basically anything you'd want to know, she puts together. If you're not getting that email, there's a list over there by the door. Just feel free to sign in, give us your email address, make it legible, and we will get you on that list. Without further ado, today all the way from Orlando, our first startup talent for startups.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing?
Great.
I don't know about you, but I counted like 27 cups of coffee, so I think we got a ways to go for a minute. But yeah, thanks everybody for being here. I'm Rajiv Menon, I'm the founder of Talent for Startups. It's a very simple concept, hopefully everybody gets it very quickly. Looking forward to great interaction, and I'm also looking to make a lot of really strong relationships with this community after what I know. But I'm looking to make great connections here as well, so we can roll out the platform to this community. So Talent for Startups, I'll skip the introductions to the end. I'll just jump right into the meat of it. What Talent for Startups is a free online matchmaking platform that connects startup founders with students and professionals that are looking to gain experience, so they can collaborate on projects and everybody learns in the process, and they go out and they do awesome projects that they would not normally have the opportunity to do without making that critical connection initially. So it's a very simple concept. We're 501c3, we're a nonprofit, so we're not actually we're not a subscription-based SaaS platform that we're looking to scale across all millions of people yet. But we're looking to create those relationships with the community by community. That's our strategy. Is really to take the ecosystem that already exists, bring that online one at a time, and make sure those connections that you form allow individuals within the community an easy access point, a plug point where they can now go and find out what are the resources in my community, and then scale out from there. That's the basic idea. 1 Million Cups asking you to start with a story. So I'm going to start with a little story. A story about Jack and Diane. American kids born in the heartland. So Jack and Diane are two graduates, and they both have a degree in business. They graduated in 2012. They have identical IQs, and they're alike in almost every way. They have the same taste in music, you name it, right? 3 years later, 2015, Jack is a recruiter making $38,000 per year. Diane's a business analyst making $65,000 a year. What happened? Jack started off, his first job out of college was as a barista. He did some high-level marketing. He got into recruitment and mortgage broking and stuff like that. Now he's in recruitment. Diane started early. During her curriculum, she was making relationships. She was talking to people. She found an internship in an e-commerce platform that a local shop was trying to build. She got that experience. She got connected to other people. Within the first couple of years, she was able to switch jobs into a Fortune 500 company that wanted her as a business analyst. Starting point was almost identical. End point was very different. Why is that? So let's look at some statistics right now in terms of the size of the problem we're dealing with. In 2012, 52% of fresh grads hadn't received a job offer for greater than 6 months. 4.7 million out of 9 million unemployed had a college degree. So the majority of people had a college degree. They tell you that if you have a college degree, you have a better chance of getting out there. Not exactly true. In 2013, there were 3 million unfilled jobs. 2014, there were 4 million unfilled jobs. So while there was so much unemployment, there was also a huge pool of unfilled jobs that were not taken because of experience gaps. So the experience gap is real. If you have the experience, you have the skills, you're in the right place at the right time, you will find a job, you will find what you're looking for, you'll be on your career path. But how do you get there? How do you find your path? That's what we're talking about. At the same time, there's another trend. Startup rates are exploding. I think everybody knows that. How many people here are currently connected with a startup? Okay, that's what I thought. And how many of you have all the help you need? Okay, yeah, two. Great. So I think that kind of illustrates my point. But also, how many people here who are not currently in a startup but are looking to work in a startup? Okay, just a few. Usually we have like a 50-50 mix of people who attend 1 Million Cups. And that's usually the audience I'm looking to talk to as well. So 20% of jobs right now being created are in startups. That is a big number. So even though startups are tiny, there are so many of them that they form a large percentage of the overall workforce, which is huge. Not only that, the ability for you to start a startup is easier and cheaper than ever in history. This is the best time ever to be an entrepreneur. I'm sure you've heard that expression, and I can tell you it's true. I see that every day. The number of ideas, the ease of starting something, the access to technology, everything is, all the metrics you look at, this is the best time to be an entrepreneur. What does that mean for us? On the flip side, business disruption is ongoing as well. So large established companies are, large established companies are being disrupted in a big way, and the demand patterns will continue to shift. What that means is new technology comes up very quickly. Large companies are trying to adapt. Startups are able to adapt quicker because they're able to move, they're nimble and they move quicker, right? So what would Diane do in this situation? What was her career path? She broke out of her closed network. She didn't have Facebook friends with just other college students. She went out of her network. She grabbed the opportunities that came to her. She created relationships through deliverables. Not through connections, but through deliverables, by actually working and growing that experience by actually working. How can talent for startups do that? So we basically scale what Diane's career path was. We plug you into the local network. We show you what the resources are available. We connect you with all the startups that are there. I'll just finish my thought. And then you learn by doing. You take control of your career trajectory. What we allow you to do is you create tag profiles. We integrate with LinkedIn so you can get in very easily. You're able to rate each other based on your interaction. There's a community culture, collaboration, and support. We have an automated matching algorithm that connects with other people so that you know who you connect to. What we have coming up is a knowledge base, mentoring, gamification, events, and we need help with funding. And we have a marketplace of coaches and experts that will be rolling out shortly. We're about 9 months old, and we have a long way to go. So here are the asks, but thank you. I'll take questions. We'll probably get into that. Thank you.
How much funding are you looking for?
So right now we have 3 methods of funding. One is we're rolling out premium subscriptions for startup founders who are finding relationships. We're looking for sponsors, which is about $2,000 a sponsor for a whole year. Then we put you on our platform. It'll give you access to every time an email goes out, blast to the sponsors list. Every event that we do, we will credit the sponsor. So that's about $2,000 and you can take as many sponsors as you can possibly find.
Where are you doing these events?
Communities like this. So we're doing events. We're also doing our own events, also participating and collaborating with other groups that are doing events. So for example, we're doing an event with Red Bull in April, is it come? In March or April. So they have these community co-working spaces that come up. We have we come up with various ideas. One is called hyper-validation, which is a lean startup methodology that you can train. There's something called Flash Solve, which allows kind of a flash mob that you get together to solve a problem. So there's different ideas that we're doing to really get the energy up there.
What's your plan for geographic reach?
Pardon?
How far do you plan to reach geographically?
So like I said, just to give you a bit of context, I run a software company on the side. That's what my day job is. And this is a nonprofit that we're trying to give back to the community. And we're really looking for the community to drive it. So we're looking to create partnerships with the community to allow us to drive it. We don't have a large budget, so we're not going to go out and market a lot of it. But the eventual hope is in the next few years, we're able to scale nationally and hopefully internationally.
How do you handle the fact that, like, for example, here in Tampa Bay, St. Pete, is My Startup in Tampa Bay? How do you work with your website and their website? I mean, their website provides a location of all the resources in the area to be able to support startups and entrepreneurs. So how do you target this?
I don't tie into all, there's a lot of platforms out there that are already existing. What we do is we make relationships with the community, and we will have a community login. It's not yet ready right now, we're looking at it. So there will be a community login that community leaders can come in and submit things that are resources in the area, so they can maintain their own list of resources. Now every node that we see, what we see is there's a lot of little pockets.
Right.
And what we're trying to do is get people out of those pockets and have the cost virtualization that's really required. And not only that, I mean, for example, there's no reason why somebody in Tampa shouldn't collaborate with somebody in Orlando, right? So those are the kind of collaborations we enable. And I'm sure somebody's going to ask the question, so I'll just answer it right now, is how do we differ from Elance or Freelancer or something like that? So Elance and Freelancers, another source for you to get resources. What we do is we're not really looking to compete with them in the sense that we're not providing freelancers. The whole objective of Capital Startups is to solve the level 0 problem, where you're somebody who's a student or somebody who's looking to gain experience in a certain area. The implicit assumption here is everybody's doing it for learning.
Right.
Now, hopefully your idea becomes huge and it scales and you make a lot of money, but the idea here is for you to enable that initial interaction to take place, and the understanding is everybody's going to learn together.
One more thing.
Yeah.
You have a store that can provide education, mentoring, and that's available online as well. So that's a good accessible.
We would definitely, we're putting links on our website to all the, like the Central Florida Corridor, SCORE, SBDC, all those resources. Yes, absolutely. And the cool thing about it, which we didn't get to explain the technical aspect, what makes us interesting is the tagging, how you tag yourself, and you can tell the system specifically what kind of things you're interested in. And these tags can be matched automatically through an algorithm, and they can connect you to all kinds of things. So when you describe yourself to the platform, you're connected to other resources, you're connected to other startups, you're connected to the events in the area, you're connected to SCORE and other organizations like that, resources, where can I find 3D printing, you can put that on your tag. Now this platform is powerful that it will be able to connect you automatically. Say, okay, you describe yourself, I'm sorry, what was your name? Jane. So Jane comes in, you describe yourself, and I'll be able to send you a list saying, Jane, if you're in this space, here are the startups you need to know about, here are the events you need to know about, here are the resources you have access to.
Okay, thank you.
Just, you make go back and spell it out for me, because I'm just a simple guy. Everybody's into this for learning. You're saying that the people the students, do not expect to be paid for what they're doing, and the startup employers are not expected to make a payment. So it brings you back to your business model.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, spell it out for me.
Sure.
And your sources of revenue, how you're going to survive to scale this thing.
Sure. So the first part of the question was, what are the expectations for the people that are forming relationships?
Right.
It is completely free form. So you describe what you're looking for, and you can talk to people and you can figure out your own arrangements. You could be working for money, for hourly rates, as maybe even a contractor. It could be a nonprofit that you're donating your time to. It could be equity. So all of those options are on the table, right? So as a platform, we don't have a fee where you have to enter your hourly rate. You can write in free form, description, whatever you prefer. This is what I'm looking for. What that does is it doesn't force people to think in a certain way. Like it doesn't limit your options. It gives you whatever flexibility you want. Second part of the question in terms of how we monetize, there's 3 options. The first one is sponsorships, which we are currently accepting, and we have some sponsors that have come on board and they're willing to put themselves in front of that community. They really care about these new startups that are coming up, so banks, investment areas, venture capital, recruiters. They want to know, they want to be in front of the space. That those are the sponsors. It's a great advertising opportunity for them. That's the first one, and that's currently live. The second one is a freemium model where anybody can create a profile for free now. But if you're trying to do certain additional things, like you want to feed of events and things like that, we're looking to have a certain portion of that site which is paid. Right? And also for startups, which are going to get the most value out of this, there will be some minor subscription fee. That will be another revenue stream. The third one, which we're looking into in collaboration with UCF and talking to them, and there's definitely a great, since it is a nonprofit, it is a 501c3, there's a lot of grants that we can go after, and we can talk about the economic value of providing that the fluidity in the ecosystem for people to connect.
I know that startups are a very large area. Are there any specific industries or skill sets that you're targeting for the candidates?
No, we're completely wide open, and there's actually many use cases there. The one use case is obviously the startups matching with other people, but you could also find large companies, just like maybe the Google of the world. They might be exploring some new technology, like a Sunburst program that they haven't really rolled out to the whole world yet. They're just kind of sensing things out. They want to see who's active in the community in a certain space. They can launch certain projects there, see what people are interested in, and then use that as a tool to grow in the future. So there's multiple use cases, and we want to keep it flexible so that everybody can be a part of it.
And then do you have any way to build in a rating system? So say, for example, I get a contractor and they don't show up or they don't do a good job. Is there a way for other people to know that?
Yes, there is a use case.
I find there's a big gap in the reality of the expectation that a recent graduate has versus the reality of actually working. The skill sets don't match.
Exactly.
And I've talked to the people at USF about trying to close that gap because they come out and expect $1 million a year, don't really want to work, how it works. I'm absolutely shocked at it, and I don't know how this would fix that.
That's exactly the problem we're trying to fix. So we call it the level 0 problem. And for students, it's hard because you're coming out of college, you don't have real life experience, and you can't get the experience without finding a job. So you're kind of stuck in that. You can't get experience without a job, you can't get a job without experience. So what this does is it allows them to work on minor projects with real life things that are actually working in the real world, right? So the idea here is startups have access to these people who have the basic skill set and they've got the training, they don't have the experience. So it's not for people, like for example, I'm a medical guy and I want to write software tomorrow. I've never done any training. That's not the platform for you. You probably should go get training first. But for people who have the training and are trying to get that experience to really work in a professional way, this is a great way for you to take that first step. And this is the experience that goes
But there's a
on.
theoretical training, it's not a practical training. That's the gap.
Right.
And just kind of just real world scenarios, not understanding time off, not understanding kind of everything. And it's so expensive for a startup to put money into even the allocation of time, to put money into a person who just doesn't have a clue.
Exactly, and that's why this is a great way for you to audition people. So you're not actually making a commitment to someone for a full-time salary or full-time job. Here's somewhere you can audition them, see if they're working out, assign some tasks to them, figure out the relationship's working.
So I'm sorry if I missed this, but was there a connection made between hiring people through this rather than internships? Because it seems like we're kind of flirting with both here. Is this an opportunity for people, for young talent to get an internship with a startup, or are you focusing on actually paid work for the talent?
We can't really call it an internship because an internship is actually a legal, it's got a classification of, from when you need to get your credit hours approved by your university. You can't make them do billable work that you're actually billing their time for. So this is open-ended, right? So this is filling that gap where if you're a student in university, you don't get the internship that you wanted. Here's an alternative for you to go scope out the ecosystem and then
For pay.
again, that's up to the student, right? So if they want to get paid, they can say that. Like, I'm expecting at least this much pay. Or they could find partnerships where they're doing things directly or whatever other way. But it opens up the options. You're not restricting someone to say, I'm only going to do this in this certain case. It allows you easy access to it.
So then it's really a volunteer / employment are the two options that you're talking about.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's not one or the other. It's all of the above.
I think you're saying you can grow a lot of things.
Right.
The exposure, the contacts, and the experience.
Right, think of it as when you came here with 1 million cups, you didn't come here thinking, I'm going to just get this, right? You're going to meet people, opportunities open up, you find out what's going on, and you may find opportunities that you didn't know existed because you came into the conceived notion that might change.
Yeah, I want to make sure I understand. Is this exclusively directed at people in the early phases of their career, or
Good
or
question.
does it also apply to experienced professionals?
Very much. So when I said students slash professionals, I did mean the professionals part also. Where that works very well is, for example, I was working for 15 years in software before, and I felt really stereotyped in terms of the strengths that I had. And you basically, once you get put in a box and this is what you do it very well, that's all you do. You're not going to get work in other areas that you want to do. So this is a great way for people, for professionals who are kind of stuck in a rut and they want to move out of that. Maybe they want to explore a completely different career path. They go out, get training, and then they start working on it. They're starting the journey just like the students are in a space that they don't know very well. So it's a great way for them to do that. Plus, do things that are ancillary. For if you're a back-end developer, let's get some front-end experience, make you a full stack. So those are the kind of things we offer.
Okay, so if I wanted to say, get more experience with mobile, I could find a startup to put up with.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So as far as college-age students, they have portals that they can use for internships. They have career centers. How are you going to do that? Because a lot of times the colleges have people that are paid to find students.
Right, and I'm
Internships, volunteer experience, all of the above, like you said. So
Right.
like, where does Town for Startups fit with that?
Right, interestingly enough, they're coming to me. So the people who are running careers and internships, last person?
No.
Yeah, so I'm talking to Wallens, I'm talking to UCF. They're reaching out to me to find out how they can use the platform because they're not finding enough opportunities. For example, a college like UCF, 65,000 students, right? They're not going to find internships for everybody, especially because internship, as I said, is a very highly constrained thing that the company has to really commit to something without really being able to have a lot of control over it. You have to meet all these criteria. So what we're offering is the flexibility for students to go out and do things on their own, free form.
So are you educating the startups and small business owners on the rules regarding, Department of Labor rules regarding minimum wages, things like that? And how do you reconcile, this has not been an official internship program, so how do you reconcile that with like getting free labor? I mean,
Right. So I'll answer it this way. I can't get into the legal space because that would just, if we start giving legal advice, then we're going to be held accountable to that. So on our terms and conditions, when you first sign up, I'm sure nobody reads it, but it's in there that you have to know your own, you have to know the regulations and you have to know what you're engaging with. Again, this is for adults, right? So everybody's supposed to be able to make their own decision. It's just like, think about it as if someone you meet in the community, right? They're not going to explain to you that, hey, I want you to work for me for this stuff, and then if it works out, I'll give you equity. Those are kind of things that you get to negotiate on a person-to-person basis. Yeah.
You're marketing the talent side of it as people that are looking for an introduction into a new field, like students or somebody who wants to go to another. I assume that you're also marketing on the supply side to those people that are looking for, let's say, entry-level talent, as opposed to professional talent.
Absolutely. That's right, yeah. So it is a two-sided market, and that makes it harder for us to market it because you have to market differently to each side. And so we go and approach different nodes for that. So on the startup side, we'll go after the incubators, the co-working spaces, the business groups like SCORE and the UBC. Those would be the people we have a packet for them. And then we have another packet for the UCFs and the colleges and universities. Go ahead, Devin.
How can organizations like the SBDC or WAVE or Canvas, how can they plug into this or find a way to, what could they do to help?
Thank you. Yeah. So what we really try to do, again, this is a nonprofit. We're doing this to kind of help the community get to know itself. So any leader of the community, any group that is in the business of making relationships with other groups would be greatly benefited by this. So they can, if anybody reaches out to me, I'll send them the packet. They can send that packet out to their constituents or your email list or whatever, and allow them to form relationships that way. We'll have a guide for them and a video for them to get started and everything like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How many users do you have today on both sides as far as people seeking opportunities and companies looking for people?
Yeah, we have about 400 right now. And about 1/3 of those are startups, and 2/3 of those are companies. Okay. we were actually featured on Tampa TV about 7 months ago, and it was really helpful because we got a lot of visibility. So although we hadn't officially covered Tampa then, actually a large number of signups did come from Tampa, so it's not just on Orlando.
So thank you again for coming all the way from Orlando.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I came here because I really look to create the relationships with the community leaders here. So I'll be sticking around for a while, obviously, and I'd love to shake your hand, find out what you're doing for the community and how I can help you or how Startups can help you to create that ecosystem and the connectivity that you're looking to do. So I really look forward to meeting more people here today.
Thank you again all for coming. For you guys that are out there in the lobby, there are a couple seats still in here, and also there's tons of room over here. So you're welcome to come in here so you can hear a little bit more of it. I'm up here to tell you about some of the events that are happening over the next couple weeks. We have a huge week next week for the whole community. We have Tampa Bay Startup Week. It's actually was a pilot program here last year, a lot of it put on by Chase, but there will be 100+ events happening Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, all of which are free events. So the topics range from software design to marketing principles to sales tactics. There's a lot of different events, just any type of business aspect you can find here. And it's a really great program to get a part of. We'll link to it at the end of the week in our email, but it's tampabay.startupweek.co. All the information and all the different events on it. I highly suggest if you like this event, you'll want to get involved with Startup Week as well. One of the big events, it's actually a national event, a part of Startup Week, is the 1776 Challenge Cup. It's going to happen in downtown Tampa, and there will be 20 startups pitching to win and be a part of a national competition to win funding money and all different types of aspects to help them grow their business. Another free event, highly suggest you guys get involved. And then you also have the deadline to apply in March for the SBDC Veterans Entrepreneurship Program. So if you have any questions about that, Sean or Carly can help give you some information. But I will go ahead and get out of your way, and please give a warm round of applause for Hubfox.
Thank you, Colin. Morning, folks. I'm Richard. I'm one of the co-founders of Hubfox. I should have the name in there. Excuse me, it's the first time I actually do a public presentation of what we built. We've been working on Hubfox for about 2 years now, and it's only in the last 2 months I actually went to live beta test here in the Tampa Bay area. The biggest reason we're doing it is to gauge user feedback with other retailers, as well as fix issues with the system and iterate rapidly before we do more of a national push. So what is Hubfox? What's a mobile mode? We want to make local shopping easy and convenient as online shopping. And our way of doing it is effectively Hubfox. And here's how it works. I'm going to share a story first. It's a real life story. It happened actually this past Sunday. My wife and I woke up and decided our 2-year-old needs a new toddler pillow. He's growing, and means the baby pillow doesn't work anymore. So what are our choices? We go to Amazon, order something online, get it delivered very efficiently within 2 days. Boring, but it works. Or go to the stores. Being a Sunday with nothing to do, we decided, let's do the stores. So what are our options? Babies R Us, Walmart, Target. What about the independent guys? How do we find out about them? This is a way to find out about independent local retail right now. The directories, lots of directories. They don't tell you what these stores carry, what products they carry, what their prices are. So what people are used to shopping, the way they shop these days is this. You have the products, you have in a simple, clean format with prices, inventory, options, and preferably on your phone. So you can do it on a Sunday while you're still lying in bed before you leave the house. This is available for the big players. It's available for the big stores. It's available for even Google. You can search that way. Again, you're going to get a lot of online retailers. You're going to get a lot of big store retailers in there because they can afford to do so. So why doesn't the independent retailer get on that gig? And we have hundreds of thousands of independent retailers in this country. These are the reasons. It costs a ton of money to build an e-commerce website. It costs even more to build an app. It costs a horrendous amount of money to get any kind of visibility on Google. This is not what it was 10 years ago. Now it's a machine. It's all about delivering results and based on generating advertising dollars. And it costs a lot of money to do affiliates, referrals, and, well, spending time also, not just money, on doing social media, on doing promoting on Facebook and Twitter, and all these other platforms that are brilliant, but the results are somewhat dubious. You can't really quantify them for the most part. What we found, talking to a lot of local retailers over the last few months, is that, shockingly enough, a lot of these guys don't have the budgets for this. And it was surprising for everyone. Like, how does a mom and pop can't afford $1 million a year in marketing budget? Shocking. So this is why we decided, what we're doing actually makes sense. And when we got validated over the last, say, less than 60 days, by signing up just in the Tampa Bay area with over 70 retailers and importing over 60,000 of their products into the platform. And this is done at a very limited release. We have a great team of 3 members of our staff actually going out there, introducing the platform to the local retailers, and actually inducting them into the platform with their system, with their products. This is Hubfox. Hubfox is basically a mobile mall. Our goal is to make online shopping, or rather local shopping, as convenient as online shopping. With that, I'm going to go into a small video that actually says, hopefully a bit more. And I know I shouldn't be putting a video, but do bear with me. We actually put this like in a, I'm sorry, I see this up. Here we go. Is it volume?
Future of retail and single app. Imagine your business on a mobile shopping app. You don't need any special permits or special equipment. The first thing you need to know is that you should never underestimate the power of your location. It's time you flex your local muscles to combat the online giants. Of course, you should always stretch first. Finding local products with the internet can be, well, unpleasant. You search and search and search, and at some point you even forget what you're searching for, end up on social media for an hour. Anyway, who's got time to walk all over town looking for something? It'll make you so mad your face will turn redder than a baboon's backside. Hubfox makes local shopping as convenient as online shopping. Customers search for your product locally. They can communicate with you instantly and come to your store and buy your stuff like it's magic. With Hubfox, it's all about where you are, for both the retailer and the shopper. You see, stores that are geographically closest to the user appear first. If you're a local business, it's time you were spotted in your own community. It's time your products appear first to local buyers. I know what you're thinking. I don't have time to build a robot to take care of these things for me. Well, Hubfox is all about simplicity and ease of use. You get your brand out there, show all you have to offer, and you can do it in your underwear. It couldn't be easier to get your business, your brand, showcased on a mobile shopping app. We give you access to revolutionary tools. If your potential customers abandon their shopping carts, you can send them a special offer, even if you didn't know who the users were. In the business, we call that incentive. Oh, and if potential customers have questions about your products or offers, they can reach you for an instant chat. Because people are bound to have questions, and you have answers. Hubfox is shopping in the mobile world. Go to hubfox.com today. There's no hoverboards, there's no flying cars. We don't even have a moon base. But let me tell you, this is only the beginning. So join us today and feel the power. Feel the power surge through you. Do you feel it? Oh, you will. You certainly will.
Much better job than I could. Some questions? Go ahead. All right, how do you stop this?
Yeah, I'm familiar with a number of different product locators that are already on the market. Probably Destiny is the one I'm most familiar with that's owned by Spins and is already launched nationally. How are you different than those?
First of all, I don't actually know, unfortunately, who Destiny is and what they do. And I know that that's not a good answer. But I'll tell you this, our biggest thing is our focus is on products. We actually, our system, the way we built it is that we can actually go to any retailer, whether they have a system or not for their inventory and their products, whether they have manual, whether they have a spreadsheet, whether they have it into a POS that's not connected online or to the internet, whether they have an e-commerce system. And effectively, they can simply log in through a desktop backend and upload whatever type of approach they have for keeping inventory and their prices and their special offers into our desktop backend, and then it spews out your actual store with its branding, with the location, the hours, everything, your products, your special prices, instantly, live, into a store in the app. That we just simplified the entire process, so there's no technical spend needed, there's no technical know-how needed to actually get it into the system. We built tools in there that actually will make, for example, the chat tool, where you can actually be looking at a product and ask the retailer a question based on that product there and then. While you're on it, just like, do you have this in stock? Do you have a special offer on it? Is there other options in it? One of the things we did, for example, early on as well, is to protect the consumer's identity and privacy. We don't even ask you to sign up as a consumer. You download the app and you start using it. You start actually asking stores. You can look into stores' products, do everything you want, and even purchase, and go pick up without actually us ever asking you for who you are or getting any information from you. So there's a few things that we actually built that are centric around how a shopper reacts in real life versus how online shopping has been built to encourage local shopping.
Yeah, I would just encourage you to look for some of the products that are already in existence.
Will do. Absolutely. Destiny is one that I haven't come across.
Yeah, because that product is similar to what you're describing. You just put if I want a hoverboard, I just put it in there and it tells me where I can find it and how close that is to my proximity.
I'm glad that you actually mentioned that. So do they give you a chance to actually go through stores near you and look at their products as a browse? Can you do that? Or do you have to search? You're actually searching for a product.
I haven't used it lately.
That's probably the biggest difference. Download the app and you'll see what I mean. Go ahead.
So your concept is very clear, it's really well demonstrated. I get the sense that this is really, really well thought out. The point of the fact that you're saying that you're saving these individual shops from having to invest in SEO, that to me puts the burden on you. So when I search for hoverboards, how do I get Hubfox so that the retailers on there will benefit from it? Like, how are you going to invest in getting found when I search for?
Very good question. Are you familiar with what the deep links that Google and Apple has introduced like in the last few months, how the deep links work? If you go search anything now on Google or an Android phone, they will surface apps to you that you can download and install that actually have the results you're looking for. But you have to build these deep links into the fabric, the very fabric of the platform. So every one of these products, the way we have it built, and again, it's a thing that Google is actually starting to roll out, so even then that's new early days for them. If you search red Prada shoes, for example, if a retailer close to you, where you are, who knows where you are, actually has it in stock, and we have it in our system, in our app, they will actually come up in the results set with an app to basically download Hubfox. When you open the app, even if you haven't installed it, it takes you straight to that red Prada shoes and that retailer that carries them. So you don't even have to hunt through the app. And that's part of like I said, the new technology that Google has implemented, and so is Apple right now rolling out. In the next 6 months, you'll see that happening a lot.
How do you charge, or how does a person or retailer, how do you charge a retailer?
Currently, we're actually, being here in Tampa, we're actually not charging the retailers, but our structure actually is clearly stated on our site. We're charging $20 a month per store to be on the platform, and then we're taking a 5% cut if somebody actually buys through the app, pays through the app. So you can buy through the app and not pay for it, and then you pay the retailer directly. We don't make any money. But if you actually pay through the app, go pick it up or have it shipped, then we charge 5%. 3% of that goes to credit card processing, and we keep a measly 2%. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Well, I just closed a brick and
real-time inventory is a huge, issue because if I were selling shoes out of the store, I was selling shoes on my website, I was selling shoes on Amazon, run out of sizes, it has to be current, styles change a lot.
Indeed.
So that's one, and then shopping local and that concept, I mean, I was in the Florida Keys and I tried to, play on the shopping local concept a lot. I think it works a lot better with unique products than when you're selling like brand products, because I was selling all big brands,
Right.
Columbia Sportswear, for boating, dressy sandals. And when people go online and shop, they seem to care about price. That's, it's shopping local, they don't care. I would get online orders from people half an hour away in Key West that didn't, and they still ordered it online and they only ordered it because it was the cheapest. So
Prices, you're right, prices are an issue for online shoppers. But let me ask you this, do you think Amazon sells the cheapest prices all the time?
a lot of the time.
A lot of the time.
Because they can.
Well,
they just, they don't.
What we've noticed as well is a lot of the time that the online shopping behavior and habits are actually changing, especially in the last few years. People are going more towards convenience now, we're seeing, than actual prices. As long as your prices are within a certain range, that isn't the problem as it used to be before. And now they've got that pricing software. You go on Amazon, and you think these prices don't change the split second. They do, based on competition, because companies have built these pricing software. The thing with us, what we did here is that we're saying, well, convenience, as long as the prices are in line, will always trump online shopping. And the fact that you can actually go to the store, you can handle a product, you can try it on. In shoes case, my wife would never order shoes online. You couldn't pay her to order shoes online. She has to try them. And that will, I think, in many ways, will not go away. The problem that local shopping has, which we're trying to fix, is discoverability. It's really difficult. It's very difficult to find products without having to call stores, trek around. It's like basically drive around the mall to find what you want. So people naturally default to easy and convenient, which is Amazon or the other online retailers. But if we give them this, where you actually have stores, multiple stores with their products, I tend to be, especially speaking of the retailers that we signed up, that you actually have a massive market for this exposure that makes it convenient again.
What about the preparation, the photography, the descriptions and so forth? Does the store owner get charged for that? Or
No.
do they have to do that on
They have actually a complete control over everything in the listing. The backend that we built, it's actually easier to post on our system than it is, say, to post on Amazon or eBay. We looked at so many shopping carts and POSs. Our system is incredibly easy to do everything, all the preparation you need to do through our backend.
So you go out and take the photography, is that what you're saying?
No, they deliver, they have the photos, and if they don't, part of our system, we actually have, for example, UPC scrapers that we built. So we've been on description in UPCs, we actually can scrape a lot of photos from online sites and actually bring them and do a differential to make sure they're the correct photos and bring them into the listing. So there's a lot of tech in that to actually build images into it too.
And the suggestion in a question. The suggestion is go to malls and have them make this available when you log into their Wi-Fi, no app necessary. And the question is, does your wife use the app?
My wife is loving the app. She actually did our Christmas shopping, for all our friends and all that on the app, because basically she found stuff that otherwise she wouldn't do. That's a simple answer. And actually, the rest of the team, there's actually we're at 12 of us now, and every one of us who initially, half the team was tech rather than retail. Even the most hardcore tech person in the team, my co-founder, has himself actually started using the app. And this is a guy who built many platforms, and he will confess himself saying, I don't use the products I built. This is the first he actually uses.
How do you differentiate between more mass market, commoditized goods? So you keep saying, well, if I go online and buy a pair of shoes, if I go online and buy a pair of shoes, first of all, that's probably a sign of the apocalypse. But secondly, if my girlfriend goes online and buys a pair of shoes, much more likely to happen, she's just going to buy the shoes on Amazon. She's going to buy the shoes on, I can't remember the shoe thing that she got, something gets, there you go. Oh my God, I should have bought stock in that one. There you go. So that's fine, because once I take the effort to go online, and look for those shoes, I can hit yes, and it'll come to my house tomorrow. Additionally, how many local stores are selling whatever you said red shoes, or Columbia shoes? That I can relate to.
Right.
That's not what local stores are selling. What are the chances that I go online and look up Blue Mercury Starfish Decanter? That's what local stores are selling. I've been to Zazood. The reason I shop at Zazood is because I'm downtown. I say, let's go grab a beer and some lunch and browse around. And by the way, I really want the big VW cooler thing. If anybody, you know, how do you get that unique? How do you replicate the experience of me going into a store like Zazood and looking around and finding things that I didn't even know I didn't want?
Okay.
Online.
Well, our app itself, we have multiple divisions. We have 4 right now. The first one is all about local. So all the stores are closest to you that show first at the top with their products. We have also the online part of the app, which is the second division, and that is actually not geographically limited. That is based on products. So if you search a product, it will search every one of the local retailers that we sign up across the country in their database, in their directory, and surface it to you in the online part. And you can order it through the app online and have it shipped over. We have that system already built in the app. So the third division being temporary events, which is an entirely different animal altogether, where you have Sunday markets and weekend markets. But let's say Zazood, for example, this particular store actually has products that we haven't seen elsewhere. As you mentioned, they've got very unique things. How many of you guys, there's a lot of people here who live in the downtown St. Pete and work in downtown St. Pete and know the stores here. I guarantee you this, if you download the app right now, whether it's iOS or Android, and go through the stores and the listings that we have in their products, there are going to be stores that are not even half a mile away from you that you never knew existed. And you're going to be interested in the store, not because of the name of the store or brand, but because of the products they carry. The difference with us is we actually bring the products into this platform. We make it product-centric rather than branded and store-centric. So as a consumer, we don't care about the products we buy. So what we've done is a very easy discovery element in the app where you can just keep scrolling down, just like Instagram, no different. And you look at products, you like a store's product, you go into that store, and you see what they carry, their prices. You can communicate with the store owner. It comes as a message into his phone. So you don't even have to wait for email for them to get back to you. And we've actually been using this effectively, testing it. Store owners are loving the fact that they get the message there and then on their phone. And even if they have associates, they actually bring associates with their phone to answer messages from the consumer. So you get a quick turnaround when somebody asks you a question. There's that interaction going on with the retailer.
So where are you at right now? What markets are you in right now? And
Tampa
how do you
Bay
scale, just Tampa right
Tampa
now?
Bay area right now.
How do you scale where if I have this app and I am traveling to say Denver,
right,
and actually it can be valuable there, not just here?
A very simple answer. It's putting sales teams on the ground in every city to sign up stores, to sign up retailers.
So that seems very labor and cost intensive. What's your plan to get there?
Raise a bunch of money with retailers over time. Let me answer this one differently. Tampa Bay, which is not a big metropolis compared to, say, Los Angeles or New York, or not as dense. We have a team right now of 3 full-time people who go out there and basically do nothing but sign up retailers. Our experience has been, in the beginning there was a bit of a struggle. We got to explain the concept. Now we walk into a store, we show the app and the stores there. The stores near them that they recognize are signed up. You know what their response is, universally has been? How do I get on? What will it take to get on? I don't want to miss out. This has been our response so far.
So kind of piggybacking that idea right there, as well as the question that this gentleman had about the photography aspect of it.
Right.
So a lot of these stores have unique items, like you said, that are very unique. They're not something that are from a main distributor. How are they going to get professional pictures? Because that is expensive. Now, some of them, yes, you can scrape the pictures and grab them off the internet and just apply them. But other than that, like, I'm not going to buy something if it's taking from, an iPhone and it's on the floor. The professional pictures cost a lot of money. It requires a special person doing it. It requires bringing that to another business. A lot of these people probably don't have money for that.
Nope.
And second, also adding items, if it's a store that has a lot of items, just like small trinkets and stuff like that, it seems like it's a lot of maintenance, so therefore pretty expensive for a business to constantly be on this app adding things and going in like, I got this, and then even interfacing with the customer.
And you're right, there are a lot of stores like that. That has to be manual, it's laborious, and it's time intensive. But let me answer this in a different way, slightly different way. You know what the biggest message we've been getting from the retailers is that I love this as a marketing channel to get some of my products, not all of them necessarily, my name, my brand out there, show what I carry without having to compete with the big box stores on Google and everybody else in a simple, a simple presentation format. So a lot of our retailers are looking at it nothing more than a way to drive extra foot traffic to their store. Not necessarily buy through the app. Down the road, some of the more savvy ones, or the ones who already are actually very good at it, they actually have systems, and our system actually refresh and integrate with their POSs on a 24-hour cycle. And it writes back in the POS and allows it. We built POS integrators that we couldn't find anywhere else. So we had to go, and we have a team of actually 2 guys that are very, like almost rocket scientists, building nothing but integrators with POSs, even the ones that are not e-commerce enabled POSs. So we have that sync and inventory. It's iOS and Android, right?
It's not downloaded, so it's like.
Well, 5S is the minimum because we have Apple Pay, so you gotta have a 5S and up, unfortunately. Apple's rules if you want to have Apple Pay. You gotta scroll down a couple pages. We just launched it, so it's like you gotta scroll down a couple pages. We're going up to the optimization of the name. But if you scroll down just a few pages, you'll find it there.
Just to share a story, maybe this is somebody you want to speak to. Like a friend of mine sold his ticketing startup, and husband and wife team, and grads, they said, hey, people want to find local vintage furniture.
Right.
They're going furniture store to furniture store. They're in San Diego.
Yes.
So they created a similar app in theory where it's a discovery of vintage furniture. They went around signing up the vintage furniture stores, and the struggle they had, which some of the other questions pointed to, is at the end of the day, the store owner is like day-to-day, long-term, and then to keep that up-to-date showing, to handle the customer service, to get people buying things from the app. So they tried that model, that didn't work for them, and then they wound up still saying, okay, people still want to find local vintage furniture, but it became too much work, I guess, on the storefront's part, even though these guys made it really, really simple.
To maintain
So what they revised in their model was, okay, we're just going to go to all the vintage furniture stores, buy their stuff, put it in a warehouse, and make a local shop that they can all go to get, right? So I'm not suggesting that that's the answer for this here, but
it's a good approach.
But others have tried this, and I guess more of my question is, who in your network, who are your mentors or people you're talking with that have tried similar things, and have you discussed what their struggles are and how they overcame them? And because, as I think the first question pointed out, your approach is probably new and more innovative, but it's not the first time somebody's trying to get local online, right? So who's in your network around that, or your past experience, because that might help you move faster, right, by not having to learn some of those lessons on hard way.
There are some stores, and remember, we're a very store and product antagonistic platform. We're not focused on one industry or one store or one type of product range. But what we're finding is the majority of the stores we have actually have a way of actually keeping track and updating and changing through their POS systems. Now, like you mentioned, the furniture stores, which we have quite a few of them here, you walk into a furniture store, they have a label attached to the price, handwritten on the product. They don't even have inventory systems. However, what we found with some of these guys is that actually liking our back and our inventory system that we built with prices and promotion, because even through our app, you can even promote your social media, your product with one click through our back and inventory system. So you can publish a new piece of furniture that you got into your own social media through just putting it into the system. Are we going to get everybody to sync and keep it fresh? Absolutely not. Some people have not done it. But it shouldn't preclude having these guys and their products in. Because if you simply are aware of there's actually a vintage furniture store not far from you, you may be tempted to actually go out there and check it out yourself in your spare time if you're interested in vintage furniture.
Yeah, that's just a follow-up.
Absolutely.
If you have 100 retailers, many of them are very committed to keeping this up to date. They do their photos and doing it. The other 80 are kind of like, hey, it says some stuff you don't sign more about whatever. That creates the shopper's experience becomes not ideal because 80% of the shopper's experience. So just some things to think through.
Oh, yeah,
we have an
answer
for it, but something I've seen from a good friend who's been down similar.
The funny thing is just that, I'm sorry, I wanted to point out. I was just saying,
Sorry,
The renters and the friends you join, I've got a bunch of actually friends, VCs friends outside of town from my previous businesses, and whenever I told them about this thing when we started working on it, everybody said, well, here's the problem. We don't think you're going to get retailers to sign up with not having downloads and views. We proved them wrong on that front, and because it's something new, it hasn't been done the way we're doing it, where it's an actual mall.
So Richard, thanks again for coming out and present.
Thank you for
How
having
can we, as a safety community, help you grow up?
I'm going to throw that question to Reach, who's one of our community like sales guys that really hits the market here.
Yeah, I think the most useful, helpful thing would just be helping us get more retailers on board, whether it's a corporate lead or just an independent retailer. I think we want to make sure that if you're looking for something, this guy over here said, a red Columbia shoe or whatever it is, we don't want you to, we don't want you to be able to, we want you to be able to get anything you're looking for. So if you're looking for toiletries, if you're looking for a particular toothpaste, you want to find a particular shoe, we want you to be able to find it on this app. And that's not going to be the case unless we have tons and tons and tons of retailers.
Keyword is getting the word out to the retail community here. People who actually are making grocery stores.